with the hull ready to go, as well as the motor all modified and ready to go. I think it's time to start assembling some things. So in this video, you're going to see me install the motor in the hull, and also I'm going to stick this little rudder on. I got this rudder a couple weeks ago from Hobby King. It was like $10 or so, and it should be plenty big for this boat. So my plan is just to have the motor come out the center here, obviously, and then this rudder will just go off to the side. What I'm doing here is just trimming off some of this plastic at the bottom. It's just going to allow the actual motor to lie flatter against the bottom of the hull. So that's all this is. This is just a little Dremel or rotary tool with a cutting wheel. So now it looks like there's no plastic or anything preventing the shaft from lying right against the bottom of the hull, so this should be pretty good. The next step is to drill out a hole in the bottom of the hull right here for the motor shaft to fit through. So here it is. It looks excellent. And the motor will actually sit a little bit flatter once I remove the gas tank, so it won't be at quite this same angle, but it looks like this hole that I drilled, the shaft fits through pretty nicely without too much extra room around it. So I think the next step is to remove the gas tank and build a motor mount out of plywood. I'm just going to use my 1/2-inch plywood to construct my motor mount out of, and I'm just going to stick it at that 120-degree angle at the bottom so it'll fit against the bottom of the hull nicely. Then I just drew out this outline up top, and that should give me some extra wood to work with. So I may have to adjust that after I cut it out, but for now I'm just going to use my jigsaw and chop it out. A very quick update here. I removed the gas tank. It was just held on with 2 of these screws, and I'm just going to screw on this piece of wood that I just drilled those holes in. So once those are screwed on like this, then this piece will screw into the hull. So that's all there is to it. And there's the finished motor mount. So this is ready to screw onto the hull and see how it works. Got some good news and some bad news. The good news is that the motor went in nicely. It's mounted up very securely. I put a couple screws in there to hold it in place for now. I may put some more in later on if I want to. So yeah, that's the good news. The bad news is that this piece here has come disconnected from the motor itself, and you can hear that, right? I'm pretty sure what that is it's that area, you'll recall last video I ground a square end on the cable, and I think what I did is I weakened the strands of the cable and they've come unfrayed. So my plan is just to scrap the cable entirely and go to the shop and pick up some 1/4-inch just steel rod or something and grind square ends on that, and that way there will be nothing to come unfrayed. So with that said, I'm just going to proceed here as if nothing's happened, and secure the rudder on the back and find a place for this gas tank. As far as the rudder goes, I'm just going to mount it up here. I've already marked out the holes, and I'm thinking this will be a good spot because it's not down here. If it's too low, it may interfere with the propeller, and if it's too high, it won't contact the water enough. So I'm thinking right about there should be good, but I can always move it around if it won't work out. So I'll drill these holes out, mount it up, and see how it looks. The rudder is on, and it's definitely not going to go anywhere anytime soon. And it's fairly straight up and down. You have a look at the back of the boat there, so it should work quite nicely. Yeah, with that done, it's onto the gas tank. The first thing I have to think about is where I want to place the gas tank. Now, I will have to get new tubes for it unless I want to mount it back here, which isn't going to happen. So I think I'm going to mount it up here, just right about there, just to move some weight up to the front of the boat, because right now the center of gravity is about in line with the back of the motor, and I want to move it up a little bit more if I can. So I'm going to mount the gas tank up there and probably put a lot of the electronics up there as well. So, to keep things really simple as well, instead of building a plywood mount for this thing, I'm just going to drill 2 holes in this guy right there and just use some of these zip ties to hold it in place. Here's the gas tank. It's held in place very nicely. It's not going to go anywhere. All I have to do now is just find some more tubing to take the gas from here to the carburetor, attach some servos to this guy and the rudder, build the extension shaft that'll extend out here, and then here's the propeller I promised I'd show you. It's a pretty nice looking thing. It's like $10 from Hobby King as well, and it should be pretty decent size. It might be a little small though, but it's alright. And I also have to fix the drive shaft in here, so. But anyways, that's about it for now. Thanks for watching.